So this is crazy. They don't want me to invite nobody. I can't even. Let me see if I can do some invites. Maybe I can do some invites now. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to finish this video with this sister. And these devils is on they own they shenanigans 100 right now. So let me see. I can't even find her on here. Holy crap. They didn't just I can't even find her in my tag list. It's crazy. These devils, they tickle me so much. They know they can't stop this. They know they can't stop it. Let me look at this. So they don't want y'all to know that they don't have jurisdiction over you once you realize. Uh-oh, we might be balling, y'all. I think I was able to invite her to this one. Okay. Yep. So, whoa. They don't want us to know this information, but I'm gonna give it to y'all. It's already on my page in written form. They don't have the jurisdiction of the person. Y'all gotta understand that. And they don't want me infecting the minds with their good slaves with the truth. Even some of the good slaves don't want me infecting the minds of the other slaves with the truth. And that's why we've been on this mission together for a minute. If you go back and look how long we've been on my friends list, I know who I'm. Everybody that I friend is for a reason. I don't just want friends haphazardly, but I'm trying to figure out how to get you in on the video feed, and it's telling me now all of a sudden I need an extension and I never needed one before. See if y'all have any way to invite in here. Well, so you know how I do when they don't let me two-way conversation with one of the sisters, because that's where the power at. When I start talking to one of these sisters, that's where the power at. They don't like that. They don't like that. And so they're gonna try to stop it. If they can't stop what's been ordained by heaven, I done already kicked the devil out. So this is the situation. I'm going to go over it and I'm gonna try to walk over it as a courtroom scenario. And then I'm gonna probably have to call the sister on the two-way chat and just have her record it and post it. So they take us to court. They got to do something called joinder of the parties. What do that mean? They got to bring the person that's being accused and the person that's accused in, and then they have to have them make a connection, right? And this connection is what they call in criminal law an arraignment. This is the first opportunity to challenge jurisdiction. When they are trying to arraign you, they want you to enter a plea, guilty or not guilty. But if you stand mute, they'll enter a not guilty plea for you. What do the word plea mean? That means to beg. So they want you to beg the court. That's not justice. It's not a justice court that does that. So what do we do in the parties? I have no standing and I have no remedy is the only statement you should be making, unless you're telling them that their jurisdiction is lacking. Now, just for the purposes of this video, I don't prescribe using their law, but you have to know what their laws say in order to get out of it. You don't use a law, you just challenge the jurisdiction of the person. In the United States Constitution, black people were classified as others, non-taxed, 3/5. That means what they can be taxed up to 3/5. That for a human, for a white guy, a sleeping God is 3/5 of a human in that regard. As long as the divine feminine spark and the divine masculine spark is dormant, then they have jurisdiction over the 3/5 compromised person. Whenever the divine feminine, divine masculine wake up, they call this the wisdom of the ages and the love of the divine. Those are your divine feminine, divine masculine traits. When they wake up simultaneously, you become 5/5 realized. You are no longer subject to the law of man, and there's only one judge that can preside over you with competent jurisdiction, and that's the Christ himself. So once you understand that part, you can't let them join the parties if you're at the beginning stages. Now, here's the kicker. Now, you got to go back because everything is based off what they call biblical standard. In the Bible, it says, judge not that ye may not be judged, but for the same measure that you judge, it is by that measure also shall you be judged. And they're talking about the court system. So the court system has to give you an exit, but you have to be wise enough and diligent enough to find it. So the exit is this. Jurisdiction has to stop at any stage of the proceedings. Jurisdiction has to stop. And they have to establish a competent jurisdiction. You can look this up in their laws and they'll tell you this. If at any time jurisdiction is challenged and the inferior court or recorder's court, criminal court, civil court don't deal with the jurisdiction issue, superior courts like appeals and Supreme Courts automatically have to dismiss the case. They automatically have to dismiss the case. There's a jurisdictional defect, and there is no remedy in law for a defect of this proportion as they have written it and stated it. And this is why they keep you ignorant to the 3/5 compromise. This is why Dred Scott case is over 100 years old and has never been overturned, because it still stands that as long as a black man, you call a black man when you unrealized. You got to remember that. So they tell you in the Dred Scott case, a black man has no rights that a white man. Now, in law, a white man don't have nothing to do with your skin color. It has something to do with your level of awareness. So it say in the Dred Scott case, no black man has any rights that a white man is bound to respect. What they mean by that, as long as you are in your dormant Kali Yuga or your dormant sleep state as a god, you're not 5/5 realized. You become 3/5. By you only being 3/5, you are now compromised. So when you look at it, and all you have to do is Google 3/5 compromise, it's going to bring up the article of the Constitution dealing with taxation. The reason that is the ancient code of kings say you cannot tax a god. You can only tax a demigod until his god status is realized. It's an old document out of Babylon or Sumeria that's been hidden. And there's also an old document in hieroglyphics that was written in Egypt that was hidden. It's called the Ancient Code of Kings. The law system that we follow is called the Code of Thieves. The Code of Thieves is the establishing of the caste system in India under Kali. Now, why did she do that? She established the Code of Thieves, what they call the Thuggee doctrine. The Thuggee. The thugs were your Robin Hood story that robbed the tax collectors and the greedy wealth hoarders, and they disseminated the wealth among the poor. This is your Robin Hood story. This is where it comes from. Under the Code of Kings, then there are certain things they have to adhere to. And under the Code of Thieves, there are other things that they have to adhere to. So under the Code of Righteousness, All of these codes have to be discoverable as they use them. So the ancient code of kings in modern terminology is called Uniform Commercial Code. Remember, the United States say all law is commercial. So if all law is commercial and you are under the Uniform Commercial Code, that means that you shouldn't be going to prison, because also in American law it says that no person should be sued and incarcerated for failure to be able to pay a debt. The whole judicial system hinges on that fact. The whole system hinges on that one thing. You be everybody in this country, black, white, Hispanic, or indifferent, or confused. It don't matter. Y'all all held in reprisal for a 1933 bankruptcy that took them over 100 and something years to establish. The bankruptcy had to be established in order for the central banks to control and steal all our wealth. I'm here to get us paid. I'm here to get us paid on a level reparations could not match. If you look like me and you arguing reparations, you are arguing a vain battle, because reparations cannot give us the level of wealth we have held in reprisal right now, because nobody has cracked the code on how to claim it. It's called first right of claim. Me, being Crown Prince of Heaven and Earth, have first right of claim to all humans, living or dead, physical, three-dimensional, phalanx, nanotechnological bot suit. They call it the human body in biology. Me, as the Crown Prince of Heaven and Earth, has the only claim of right to what they call your spirit or soul, which is actually a binary code, encoded light body attached to the three-dimensional physical nanotechnological suit they call the human body in biology. Because of that, none of them can challenge competently my jurisdiction. Anybody that make an allegiance with me and goes in the courtroom and disputes the jurisdiction, because I have superior jurisdiction as the Crown Prince of Heaven and Earth, and once the crown is placed on my head, I will be King of Kings and Lord of Lords. They have no jurisdiction, and they already know. They know I'm here. They know why I'm here, and they've been waiting, just like everybody else. It's been a long wait. And I was going to let this motherfucker be destroyed, because I didn't think that I was going to find one person over here that on this planet that wasn't so selfish and self-centered that they could live and love beyond what's expected of the selfish and the greedy. All of the selfishness and the greed, all of the one-sided perspective of the situation, I was just going to sit back and let it fall apart, because this is the end of the age. I could have did this 10 years ago. I could have did it 5 years ago, but the people wasn't ready. The people wasn't ready. They ain't doing all this crying and begging for help. But when help come, everybody want to close their doors on the help. Don't matter to me, because I'm a destroyer and I'm a builder. You got to remember that. I will destroy some shit if necessary, but it shouldn't have to be necessary, because I already won up there. So if I've already been successful in heaven, there's nobody to oppose me on earth. I've been given control of the armies of heaven and hell. Donald Trump, we've been roasting him. He ain't the one that y'all should have been roasting. It was the jackal who tried to supplant the throne that looked like us. The only one to sit in that seat in our time that looked like us, and gave y'all all these false, vain promises of change, and didn't change anything, and went along with the status quo. He got to answer to me. He got to answer to me. I seen him. I shook his little sloppy hand. I know he is. He seen me. He looked dead in my eye. He know who I am. Donald Trump know who I am. I made a deal with Donald Trump. The people don't know about it. He was going gung-ho about that wall. All of a sudden, y'all noticed that he didn't even care about the wall no more. Because if he couldn't drain the swamp like we told him to, I was gonna march so many motherfuckers out the grave up here to set this shit straight on Cinco de Mayo. We didn't see the March of the Dead on Cinco de Mayo, therefore we need no wall. The wall wouldn't have stopped it no way. Because I'd have just called one of them from up there to come zap the wall, so that would have been a waste. But he was correct in that all of those presidents was aware before him that if they allowed the trafficking in children and women to continue on this planet, they was going to piss me off. And if they pissed me off, I was going to march dead motherfuckers up to their doorstep, and they was going to be the food for the devil, for the wicked ones. Now, that being said, their system is predicated upon us remaining ignorant. The whole system is predicated upon us remaining ignorant. Now, I don't even know if nobody on this video, because my clicker stopped counting at 3 people. No, 7 people. And I haven't even seen a comment pop up since let me see, the last one Kiwi said was you the shit. Together we can make a difference. So the whole problem right now is the people don't believe anybody is going to change this shit. And as long as they don't believe it, they're going to keep falling right into the trap. Starting this video here, the title of this video is Mama Said You Reap What You Sow. And I'm going to do some invites because I have a very important message that, as all masters do, should have a seriously beautiful reaction like a butterfly on a flower in the summertime. Mama told me that sometimes you can't be too hostile in your methods because you can incite those who are your supporters to go into hostile territory prematurely. We don't want to do that. See, all we want is if somebody earns something, pay them. That's it. You reap what you sow. The very thing that you set as a stumbling block for one person, that thing becomes your very own stumbling block. Now, this is in philosophy, right, where they teach you how to focus your attention on the things that really matter. So now, at the close of the age, this being the Jubilee, I gave my word to Mama that I would try to resolve this matter as peacefully as possible. So this is what we're going to do for diplomatic purposes, in order to exhaust all diplomatic measures before we resort to foolish destruction, because we've had enough suffering as a human family. We all love each other, but we have been deceived to dislike each other. And the dislike has become so strong that the love has become numb. We want to bring the love back, but the only way that can happen is for it to remove the tyranny. Now, in me telling y'all that, I have a very specific job ascribed to me that is supposed to move in a very specific manner to give us a peaceful